Hey, welcome. My name is Rachel. To everyone who is new here and to everyone who is returning, hey, what's up? How's it going? Today, what I thought that I would do is the book recommendation tag that, oh gosh, I don't know how to say her last name. Her first name is Steph. I'll just pop it up over here. If you are watching booktube, you know who this person is. She created a book tag, and so I thought that I would do it. I love to recommend things, so right up my alley. I am going to try and keep most of my recommendations ones that aren't uber popular, just so then we can, get more of a variety. Some of them are going to be popular. I mean, I gotta stay true. I gotta stay true to what my recommendations are. So that will happen. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is a book you tell people is your favorite. So very first one, Circe by Madeline Miller. This was my favorite book of last year. Absolutely loved it. If you like literary fiction, just a woman's reinvention, but also from the point of view of a Greek goddess, it's relatable somehow. It's just the easiest thing to tell people is my favorite because a lot of people really do like this book, but also I love it and I want people to read it. Circe by Madeline Miller. We are rolling. Next question, a book that is your guilty pleasure. I went back and forth on this one of whether or not I actually wanted to say what it is, because this is like a real guilty pleasure. This ain't just, a popular book that a lot of people like, but it's just kind of weird. It's actually embarrassing. It is called the Highland Guard series by Monica McCarthy. I am just going to do a quick little boop of the cover because I don't want it to be up on the screen for too long because it's that embarrassing. I loved this series. It's your classic romance series. If you are looking for something that is just more like old time classic romance with all of the embarrassing adjectives and wording for different things, if you're looking for that, read it. Guilty pleasure for sure. For sure. Next one, a book everyone loved but you didn't. I went back and forth on this one. I'm just going to say it, Daisy Jones and the Six. It's not that I don't like Daisy Jones and the Six, because I did. I just really don't like it as much as everyone else does. Seems like it's everyone's favorite book. I really needed a conversation to happen in that book that didn't actually happen. It just seems like to me everyone loves this specific character and I did not like them at all. I felt like the epilogue was a joke. I just didn't get enough of the character that I really liked in it. In case anybody thinks it's Camilla, it's not. I love Camilla. I'm hoping though with the series that is coming out that maybe they fix it. I think it's possible. I am excited about the series. There were things about it, of course, that I did like, but I just wasn't as big of a fan as everyone else, I guess. Controversial, but it's the truth, and I'm sorry. A book that you read the fastest. I don't really do one-sitting books anymore. And so the book that I've read, I think the fastest that I really couldn't put down was Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. I connected so much to Georgie and to Levi, and so I think that was a big reason why I couldn't put it down. It's a romance. This holds a special place in my heart just because of what I was going through when I did read it and just the way I connected so much. Next one. Oh, a book that deserves more hype. I'm going to do two books. Vicious by V.E. Schwab and also Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I feel like Scythe got some hype when it first came out. It deals with so many interesting issues, but also the way it's written is so fascinating to read. It's like a sci-fi dystopian type book. And then Vicious by V.E. Schwab. A lot of her books are uber popular. I just think that this one is the one that is probably her least popular, but deserves to be more popular. It's an adult magical realism, and it's about these two magicians that are rivals, and it's so good. If you want a dark academia, but like super quick, easy to read, but is also beautifully written, go get it. Both of these deserve way more hype. Oh, a book that is becoming a movie/TV show. There's a lot of these coming out. I mean, you guys probably know Daisy Jones, One True Love, ACOTAR is supposed to be one, Six of Crows is already out, Shadow and Bone. We already know about After, but I think the one I'm going to talk about, because I don't think anybody else is really talking about it, is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire, and it is another romance, and it gives kind of After vibes, but the way the movie is presented, it's more like a rom-com. Like the tone of the book is not, at least in my mind, when I read it, it wasn't like funny. It's probably one of those that it's going to be bad, but I'll still watch it. Dylan Sprouse is in it. He's like the main guy, Travis. And so, it's fine. I haven't seen anybody talk about it lately, so I'll be interested to see how well it does. A book you have reread the most. This was hard because I'm a big rereader, but the only one I could think of that I don't even know how many times I reread it was, this is gonna show my age, but Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I reread this so many times in high school. I even slept with this book, I would just read it until I fell asleep, and I would just keep rereading it. Really sad because this isn't my original copy. My original copy I gave to someone to read and they never gave it back. Cardinal sin. The OG, right? I'm pretty sure that I probably read this at least over a dozen times. A few years ago, I did a reread of this with some friends. There's lots of problematic stuff in here, but again, it's an OG. I still love it. I still love the movies. They still just bring a smile to my face. I can't help it. So, Twilight. Oh, a book from a genre you don't typically read. This one was easy for me to pick. The Mosquito Bowl by Buzz Bissinger. This is a nonfiction, full-on war book. And it is centered around these two U.S. Marine battalions during World War II. And they played a football game against each other because both of these Marine battalions were filled with very talented, skilled college football players and professional football players. You follow just a few of them throughout their life, how they got into football, how they got into the Marines, to the battle afterwards, and whether they survived or not. It's chock full of information. I don't think I would have been able to actually read it, but listening to it, I could listen to it. I'm not a big war book girly. I just saw that it was #1 pick on Goodreads, and so I was interested, and so decided to take a shot on it, and I'm glad I did. A book that deserves all the hype. I think I'm gonna go with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book was everywhere, and I read it during October, during spooky season, and I totally get it. I totally get why this book was everywhere, still is everywhere. If you are looking for a spooky read, it's not too scary. And I think that that's the part that makes it just so popular and so universal. It's just a really solid mystery. You love Pip. You love Ravi. It's really good. Highly recommend this one. If you haven't read it, I don't know how you haven't, but it's really good. What book do you always recommend? Now, this one is hard because I always recommend different books. So I'm going to do the two books that I've recommended more recently. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. A really good literary fiction book, uber popular, but also her writing is just so good. I loved Carrie Soto is back, and I think it's because I went in with a different kind of mindset. I knew what I was getting into, and so I could really enjoy it more. And then the other book is Empire the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This one is really good if you like high fantasy, if you want something a bit more gritty and dark. This one is so good. I was surprised at how much I loved this one. I think I've recommended this one before, maybe a couple times in some of my videos. Very interesting. Love this one. A book that has your favorite character. This one to me was a no-brainer. It's gotta be my girl, Aelin from Throne of Glass. I have never connected so much with a character and have wanted to be a character, wanted to hang out with a character more than I have with Aelin. I just think that she is so multifaceted. She has so many things going on in her life, but then she always comes back to like just trying her best, even if she is smartass sometimes, even if she goes off the deep end sometimes. Love how witty she is, how smart she is. It's hard to have characters like this without them being like too one-dimensional. There's just something about her, how strong she is and how vulnerable she can be, that is just so amazing. If you don't like these books, please don't talk to me about it. If you do not like Aelin, please don't talk to me about it. You cannot like her, and that's fine. You cannot like these books, and that's fine. I think we all get one, and this is my one that I just don't want to hear. I just don't want to hear if you don't like it. I'm sure you have reasons, but to me, I do not want to hear them. My favorite book, my favorite series of all time. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, a book you wish you could live in. I have two, and I couldn't really choose between them. I know in Steph's, she chose more of like who she just like wants to hang out with, but I went more like the setting route. And so the first one is Harry Potter. I'm not going to take him out. And that's mainly just because I want to be a wizard, you know? I want to go to Diagon Alley. I want to try butterbeer. I want to go to the Three Broomsticks, you know? That's the reason. And then the other one from, I don't even remember what the town is called. I just like the coastal town in this. It just gives me good vibes, and I would just love to live there. I just think it would be cute to live there. Would love to hang out with Piper and with, who? Hannah? What's her name? Hannah. I got it. Yeah. A book you thought you would hate but ended up loving. This is hard because I don't typically buy books that I think I'm going to hate or read books that I think I'm going to hate for obvious reasons, I think. But ones that I don't think I'm going to like as much or surprised me, I can do. The one that has surprised me recently was Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Casamano. I got this during the longest reading slump of my life, and it surprisingly rejuvenated me. I fell in love with Finley Donovan, and I just thought that it was going to be kind of this flat, fluffy book, but really I had such a good time reading it. It surprised me with how much I liked it. This is a cozy mystery, in case you do not know. It's really good. It's really funny and silly, but also I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed like the life bits in there. And so Finley Donovan is Killing It. Oh boy. A book that made me cry. I have been crying a lot during books lately, so this is a hard one. We'll go with this one. We'll go with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This one had me crying a lot at the end. Look at all these blue tabbies that I have. It was a mixture of things. It was a mixture of being incredibly sad, heartbroken for certain characters, but then also happy. It was just a very bittersweet ending. And with how V.E. Schwab writes, she tugs on your heartstrings. Definitely this one. Do I go with? I'm gonna do another one. Just for kicks and giggles. Always in December by Emily Stone. I think it was just because it threw me off that I could not stop crying. This is obviously a Christmas book. but it's not a happy one, so go into it knowing that. I think we're getting close to the end. We only have one more left, and it is a book you wish you could read for the first time again. Now this one, I just knew. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I know exactly which book. It is Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath, the second one in the Crescent City series. And for those of you who have read it, you know why. You know why. I think we all would love to experience that book again for the first time. When I read it all the way through, my jaw was on the floor. It still makes me excited when I read it, but nothing will ever beat that first time reading it. And it's just like, no, Sarah, are we really doing this? Are we doing this? And she's like, yeah, we are. And I'm just like, Sarah, you know, I love this series. That is the end of the book recommendation tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope some of these books maybe you'll look into reading. Maybe if tags come around, maybe I'll do more of them. Maybe I'll create my own. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please comment or like or subscribe if you want to. I'll leave the questions in the description below, so if you want to answer these, you sure as heck can. I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!